Fabulous.
The Talking Leeds podcast with Arron Marshall and George Brooke.
Well, good evening and welcome to Talking Leeds, Season 2, Episode 6. George, the football is back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. George, how are you, sir?
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're listening to it, or whatever time, whatever place you're listening to. Everyone, welcome along now, and I'm okay, thank you. I'm a good morning, okay. We bloody won a game of football, mate. How are you?
Well, we did. You're absolutely right. I'm a bit horsey. I've done the match reaction with Jerry, so I'll get my plug in now. If you want to listen to what me and Jerry thought of the game last night, you can go and watch it on YouTube, or you can go and listen on your pods. So a little bit horsey still, but you're right. Leeds 1, Everton 0, 3 points on the board. Good evening to you, Jimbo. Good to see you. Yes. What are your thoughts, George? On that, I haven't really spoke to you about the game yesterday, have I? But Leeds 1-0, game on.
I mean, yeah, back on, Aaron. 3 points to start the season with. Fantastic. Ellen Road looked raucous. I did watch it. I particularly did, I must say, enjoy the first. We really took it to Everton. Your thoughts on Joel Perreault, Aaron, but for me, I thought he had those little bits of nice interchanges, nice little bits of play. But ultimately, I thought it looked as though we were really clicking into gear, much better than Everton, it has to say. We were finding space in those wide areas. We were tenacious in getting the ball back when we did lose it. And I must admit, Mr. Stack looks very, very good in terms of the player that we thought he might be. I just thought absolutely energy was up for Leeds. The crowd were up for it. And Everton just didn't seem like they wanted it at all. They didn't have anything to go with. Very poor up top. I know we've been linked with Beto, Aaron, but he can stay at Everton if he wants, please. He was awful. And, I just thought, really? Everton, so poor. They came out second half, did a little bit more, but they did next to nothing in the first half. The second half was always going to be a little bit more difficult to navigate. But I thought fair play to our boys. We stood up and we were countered, and we didn't let ourselves be bullied out of 50-50s or anything like that. We held our own against an established Premier League side, and we got the win in the end. I mean, the talking point has to be the penalty, Aaron, here, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, we'll touch on the penalty in a minute or two. I just want to say I completely agree with you for once, George. The first 65 minutes, I think Leeds were absolutely dominant. It was really, really brilliant. They really held their own account there. The physicality was really strong. The players were up for it, and that's what you like to see. Beginning of the season, I know you've touched on Joel Perreault. For me, he didn't have his best game yesterday. Is he the answer up front for me at this level? I'm yet to, make a decision on that. I don't think he's the answer, if I'm being honest. I think he was a little bit slack at times. I know you're going to say, oh, he did a lot of work, this, that, and the other, and he did. But when you need to be more clinical, Leeds should have been 2-0 up at half time. And you've got to seize your opportunities. And your your main man, your striker, is the one which you've got to be really, getting service to and put him in the back of the net, especially at this level, because it could have gone completely the other way around yesterday. Leeds could have lost this or drawn.
Well, this is it. It was very much going towards a goalless draw, wasn't it, really? And for me, as good as we were on the ball, and I thought Perreault really got through some some work, to be fair. Off the ball, on the ball, I thought he was tidy with it. Yes, he missed a couple of chances, and I agree with you,
I
Aaron.
think, though, George, I just want to touch on it. As a 10, you can see him working at this level because he's got a little bit of, he's got the vision, he can put a decent pass in, etc., and feed it through. But as your main number 9, I don't think is the answer.
No, and I don't think he will be the answer, Aaron. I think pass. I think he will be more used on the wing. Obviously, Farke is want to pack the wings because he's more often than not going to, by the look of it, going to be playing a 4-3-3. So that's fine. Pack the midfield, which he has. Pack the wingers, which he will. I believe we'll get another number 9. And
in addition to Okafor.
To Okafor, yeah. I think it will be another number 9. And yeah, I think Perot will be one of the supporting cast, as Aronson will be. I believe lots of the lads who came up with us, I think will end up, as the season goes on, being supporting roles. I do think, that the boys that we brought in will hit the ground running, as much as whatever you think of Mr. Jack Harrison, Aaron, everybody watch.
I'm glad you mentioned him.
Yeah, he'll be a part of the
brilliant. He was brilliant when he came on.
He was.
I'm quite happy to say that. I know he got a lot of and you should, Leeds fans, I said this to Jerry earlier, you should never boo your own players. It's wrong. You don't boo your players. He's trying to put it right. He's put plenty of money behind in a couple of bars in Leeds and at the old Peacock. Listen, it doesn't matter. But I have to say, when Jack came on, we needed fresh legs because we were tiring. And Daniel Farke, by the way, got this right. I know you're a Farke out, George. You want him out. You are desperate for him to be sacked.
No, give me a chance.
Give him a chance. You say, give him a chance.
Give me a chance, not him.
Give you a chance. Well, in this chance, but he got the substitutions right last night. Did Farke?
Yeah,
brilliant, and he changed it up, and he could see where we were lagging. It was tired legs, and when Jack Harrison came on, freshened it up, and he helped get the penalty for me. So it's fair play to him. All he needs to keep doing is just keep doing what he's doing on the pitch. That's all he's got to keep doing.
Well, look, I think Jack's 100% behind it. Aaron, he's 100%. He wants to be here. This is what I gleaned from it. Obviously, did what he did for the fans before the game, but even before that, I think he's been right. He's kept himself quiet. He's gone on with it. Farke's been singing his praises in training of how much a good of a teammate he is and all this kind of stuff. And I agree with you, Aaron. I think he changed the game. At a time where we did need a bit more going forward, the likes of Willie Nonto and even Dan James were a little bit off it, weren't they, last night? They just all the ball, but no idea how to use it. I thought Willie Nonto was especially poor, to be fair.
No, George, come on now. No. In that first half, he was a real nuisance, and he was doing Willie Nonto things, which is causing a real nuisance. And the physicality, the runs, the pressure he was putting in that left-hand side, it was brilliant, Willie Nonto. For me, up there with Tanaka, Tanaka was fantastic.
No, I'm going to say something controversial here, Aaron.
Go on.
I didn't think Tanaka was that good.
Wow. Honestly. What do people? Let's open it up to the folks watching. What do you think in the comments? Do you think Tanaka was brilliant or not? George says no. I say yes. The amount of quality he was showing last night he's really stepped up for me. When you look at the team which have come up from the Championship, he is one who really stood out last night, who really put in a shift and showed where he could potentially go with his career here. Because you're looking here, George, in the next 2 years at a £50 million plus player. You heard that here first on Talking Leeds. He will go for 50 million plus, guaranteed.
No, I'm sure he will, mate. But what I'm saying is, he's a great player. I thought he did okay. I'm not saying he was awful, but I just feel now that you saw Daniel Farke speaking to him after the game, and I believe he was saying, look, you did all right, but there's things to improve on. And there were, for me, it was the rushing about, and once
But
or
that's
twice.
good because you need that. You've got to be quick on the ball because you've got to. The problem is at this league, and I saw this with Everton. I was speaking to a couple of people in NA about this yesterday in the North Stand. You could see Everton, and they're a step up, from what we've been used to for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
The way Jordan Pickford in particular is a very, very good goalkeeper. He made some outstanding saves last night. But the way they could ping the ball around, and they were crap. They were not special. The accuracy and the pinpoint of speed and accuracy is just on point. And they're a mid-table Premier League side, and that's what you're going to be coming up against this season, if I'm being honest. What I'm trying to say is that you need that quick, fast thinking approach in the Premier League. You can't take 1, 2, 3 seconds and wait. Oh, where can I find a ping a pass? You've got to be quick. It's got to be bang, bang, bang. And I thought it was brilliant. Tanaka did that for me yesterday.
I mean, Carl's saying, good evening to Carl. He said he had a brilliant game, but he felt like Stack and Ampadu were that good that they took the limelight off him. But what I think about Tanaka is, and I disagree with you, Arron, really, is that I don't believe you need a quick thinker, which I believe he is. But what I think he was doing last night is rushing into like passes. You see him take that shot in the second half. Take your time and just put it on target. He seemed to be just rushing everything and not taking his time, which then eventually once or twice put us in danger with a slack pass or whatever. And generally he was good, but I didn't think he was that good. In my personal opinion, I feel like he was a little bit slow thing, a little bit more precision in his passing. And I believe maybe that was what Farke was saying to him. Look, you did well for your first game, but there's much to improve on. Whereas Stack, for example, was tenacious and quite comfortable on the ball. I felt Tanaka at times did look a little bit unsteady. Ampadu was brilliant, I thought, as well.
I must admit, we were a little bit worried when he went down with that injury.
Yes.
Oh, God, here we go, because we can't be losing him, at all this season. We need to keep him fit. But
I think Ampadu was great. It was great to see him leave a little bit on Dewsbury Hall as well. After obviously with Leicester and the Leicester connection of taking the piss out of us when they beat us to promotion, the season before last. So it was great to see him leave a little bit on him as well. I don't know if it was intentional. It probably wasn't, but as a fan, you like to think it was potentially. But look, we played excellent. We made them. Like you say, Arron, when you're there, you can really look at it and think, wow, these guys are a next level, like you said, which they obviously are. Some of them are international Premier League players for the years.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I completely agree. I just want to, because if you look, I'm looking at the starting lineup. Perry was in goal. He was quiet and really didn't do much. Goodmanson, a good game.
If you look about Perry, just for a second, Arron. You say he was quiet, he didn't really do much, but he did the basics well, which with Ilan Villiers in goal, you're thinking, oh, fucking hell, he's going to drop it at any moment. Whereas you didn't feel like that with Perry, did you?
It was quite funny because, when you're in the moment at Ellen Road and you think, oh, God, and this cross came in, I think it must be 5 minutes in, you thought, oh, God, he's going to drop it. And you realise it wasn't Melly in goal. But, yeah, you're right. You're spot on there. He did the basics right. But he didn't really have to do much.
He just did the basics right. And when he turned, when you see he got turned, when Aronson got turned, hi to Michael. Hello, mate. You've joined me from my channel as well. Welcome along. He when he got turned, Aronson, awful. I thought Aronson was really poor, but he got turned by Dewsbury Hall, and the ball gets put in, and Perry gets down to his left-hand side to do. And I just thought that's great because anywhere that Mellier's clearly he's on the way, isn't he? He wasn't in the matchday squad yesterday. He's It's clearly on the way. I do worry about that, really, in a sense that, if Perry does get injured or suspended, we're left with Carl Darlow in goal. But, it is what it is. You just got to hope that doesn't happen. But Bellier, you always a little bit like, oh, fucking hell, he's going to drop it or he's going to roll it in his own goal or whatever it's going to be. So you didn't, any time, I know it's early days, but you never felt like that with him.
No.
You go on to Goodmanson, is it?
Yeah, Goodmanson, yeah, I thought he was quite solid. Seems quite capable down that left-hand side. But if you look at that, Perry, Goodmanson, Stack, those were the only three additions in this starting 11 who've been thrown in. I think that's credit to those lads who from the Championship as well. They've been given an opportunity now. Same with with Nonto, because there's a real hole there to be filled with. Solomon, he's got to make it his, and I think Nonto did yesterday. But all in all, George, a 1-0 win. Nemecha penalty, the handball, George. I was sat behind it. It looked clear as day. It was handball.
Exactly.
The whole stand saying handball. David Moyes isn't happy. Tarkowski isn't happy. Who cares? Doesn't matter. You handballed it, pal. It doesn't matter. You handballed it. The law of the land is you handballed it. You stop crying about it.
Literally, in like football as it is now, that's a handball. As harsh as you see it, it's a handball. I don't agree. Old school handball is handball, but that as the rules are now, as watered down as it is, that is handball. You can clearly see from my own eyes that the man leaned towards it to be like, oh, I can't stop it with my chest, but I can stop it with my arm. It was just like a reaction, like an actual reaction to like, oh shit, it's gone past me. Well, oh no, it hasn't.
But
shit.
It's like what Michael said. They deliberately leaned into and towards the ball to block it away from going in. Regardless, and there were lots of pundits, and pundits have really pissed me off, saying that Leeds are going to get relegated. This, that, and the basketball, football. They keep saying it's completely different. It's a different team that you've got this season. We're more physical. We'll rant about that later on. But what I'm saying is that these pundits have said, it's just clickbait shit. That's what they're doing. They're trying to be controversial to spark conversation. It's all over the BBC website. Oh, should it have been a handball or not? It's clear as day a handball. Gary Neville is spot on with this as well, by the way. I watched it back, what he said, and yes, he's a scum bastard, and he doesn't like Leeds fans, but he's one of the best pundits around, is Gary Neville. Straight talking, says it how it is, and I do like him as a pundit, and yeah, got it right.
He did it. I mean, he just, as soon as I saw it, obviously it ricocheted off one of their players first, didn't it? And then but then he's still trying to save it with his arm. And arm is handball in the way the law lies now in terms of football. So you haven't really got a leg to stand on. The ref gave a little minute, didn't he, before he pointed to the spot. But and you can see like Ruev going, please give me it. And and he's like, oh please, yeah. But then and obviously he does, and it was a great moment from our point of view. But I must admit, if it did go against us, and that was Everton getting that penalty in the 83rd minute or whatever it was, you would feel slightly aggrieved. But then again, you'd think, actually, no, why are your hands even there? Why are your arms even there? Just you can see it clear as day, like you said, mate. His arm is moving towards the ball, and it might even just been a natural knee-jerk reaction to, oh, it's gone past my chest, I have to stop it somehow. And he ends up having to do that by giving away a penalty, which, even though we've still got to score the damn thing. And, the Nemecha had only been on the pitch a few minutes. And before that, I thought he'd made the wrong decision. It did break for us quite kindly, and I think he was a little bit lax with the decision he made to pass it. It's like, come on, either pass it quicker or just have a shot. Stop, dilly-dallying around the box with it. You're given an opportunity, and he just like, oh, well, fine, it's only the first fucking minute of the game. No, it was right near the end of the match. We had a chance to go and score a goal, and I thought he thought he messed it up a little bit. After that...
It was a good pen, though, George, wasn't it? And Pickford went the right way, but it just got past him. And it's like what Michael says here: handball or no handball, it's all balances out throughout the season. And
exactly.
If you remember when we were in the Premier League a few years ago, we had many decisions go against us, and it balances itself out.
We'll get another decision in the weeks to come, Arron, that we'll be disappointed with, and we'll argue about it, and we'll say, "Hey, VAR's rubbish, and that wasn't a handball, that wasn't a red card, or whatever. That should have been allowed, that goal, or whatever it is." Like Michael's right, it'll all balance itself out, but we've got to enjoy it where we can. Look, I do believe we'll get more wins than perhaps people envisage, but I think you've got to enjoy them when they come around, because it won't happen that often like they did in the Championship. So we don't think they will. So we have to take what we can get, and we have to enjoy it. And he still had to dispatch that penalty, and he did it with aplomb, and he'd only been on. Like I said, I think he should have done better initially with that little chance that was presented to us. But, it was only his fifth touch of the football to stroke it in the net. And Pickford was trying the mind games, wasn't he? It didn't work. And, and it's a shame he doesn't have, well, it isn't a shame, is it, Arron, that he doesn't have, that he has dinosaur hands or whatever it is, because otherwise he might have saved that penalty, mightn't he?
He could have done it. He's got a good record with penalty saves as Pickford as well.
Yes, he has.
But I think, do you know what, George? Rounding kind of that game up, I think it's a fantastic 3 points. We've only got 10 more to go, 10 more wins. It's as easy as said than done in the Premier League. 10 more wins, I feel that will be enough, with a few draws here and there. And it's got us 3 points on the board. Yes, it's early doors, but a positive start, given that we've got Arsenal and we've got Newcastle next in the league, is massive, because these two are really difficult games for me. Arsenal away on Saturday is, well, it's a free hit, as they would say, going to the Emirates, trying to get anything there. But do you know what? If we play like we did for the first 65 minutes against Everton, we'll give them a game.
Yeah, look, and like I said, going back to my point about IO, Michael picked up on it as well, giving him some tips. I didn't think he was good enough. I do believe it was him giving him some tips on how he could improve, which is what you want to see. But yeah, look, I think we will give Arsenal maybe another game that people don't expect. I think Arsenal, I didn't see it on Saturday, but I think they were poor by all accounts. And
yeah, they're quite lucky.
To win the game. So,
lucky, yeah.
It's their first home game of the season at the Emirates. I do think we will have a game on our hands, obviously, but if we do perform like we did for that length of time, we withstood the pressure in inverted commas, because it wasn't really pressure from Everton, but it was a little bit of pressure. I think Arsenal will definitely put more pressure on than that. But if we can withstand it, then, like I said, it's a free hit. If we get a draw, it's great. If we're going to win, well, unbelievable. If we lose the game, well, we lose the game. It's not the end of the world. And like we know, like I said, wins aren't going to come as frequently as they did in the Championship. So we've got to enjoy it where we can when we get them, and regardless of how they come. And we certainly did that last night. Great to start with a result like that, a win at home, debutant getting the goal. I was delighted for him. Like I said, the way he put it in was like he'd been taking them all his life. He probably has.
I just want you to read out this comment here from Jimbo, because I want to hear, so I can sound clip those first 3 letters and words there. Those credit to Fark, and it was credit. Just give him some credit, George, because I just music to my ears, really.
Jimbo says credit to Fark, celebrating his 7th Premier League win out of 50 last night. That's not a very good record, but that is what he did.
It is, but you've got to give him some credit, George. Fart got it right last night.
Absolutely. I think Daniel did well. I think he worked out what we needed at what times, and the substitutions, like we mentioned, were very well timed. And you even leaving out Ramazani and all that, on the bench and stuff, and but you need a squad. You need a squad, and everybody's got to be plugging in the right direction, and I believe they are by the early signs of it. So Daniel Fart seems to be very good at doing that, creating a team harmony. Everybody's working in the right direction. And credit to him. He set us up nicely. I thought we looked incredibly comfortable, but I think the defensive line I really liked, and we weren't talking about them too much, but they all just seemed to just get on with it. And even Stroud, who some people do have question marks over, you didn't hear his name mentioned really. He in the terms of a bad thing, he just got on with the job and got it done. Same with Rodon. Naturally being a debutant, you look at Gabby Goodmanson and you're like, how's he going to do? And I thought, like you said, Arron, I thought he did well, mate. I thought he was up and down the wing. He was strong, in his tackles and losing the ball. He was persistent and he did all right. He was up and down it a fair bit, wasn't he? So I thought he did well. All of the debutants I thought did well. If you think there was five guys in our team making the Premier League debuts, then you think actually we did well.
We did. Right, I just want to touch on the fantasy football, George. I don't know if you're in this league. The Talking Leeds fantasy, we've just got to give a quick shout out to those at the top of it. We'll do it every week for you guys who do the old fantasy. I'm not very good at it, but there's the code on the screen. If you want to join us, congratulations to, are you ready for it? Who's top of the lead? Who do you think's top of the lead? Are you top of the league?
I haven't even got a team, mate.
Oh, what are you doing?
How do I do a team? Can I do a team?
Yes, the stacked Peacocks. Darren Doone, 79 points. He's top of the leaderboard. Bamford and Sons, Charles Hoffman.
How many of them are there?
We've got about 50 odd in this, which is quite good for us. And then, so Charles Hoffman is in second place, and third place is you, Jimbo Broken Chair, on 75.
Can I still do a team? Is it free to do?
It is. It is all free to do. If you want to know where I am, George, Tanaka Time 22. I'm on 58 points.
Who's in your team, Arron?
Who's in my team? Good question. Who have I got? I've got Becker in goal, Scar, Virgil van Dijk, Cucurella, Sabia, Tanaka. I've got to have Tanaka in there. Palmer, Ampadu, Eze, Pirot, and Haaland in my team. The Pickford in goal, Vardiol, Norgard, and Delap. But anyway, it's not very good.
It's better than some. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's 22nd out of 50 odd. So hopefully the season will kick on and we'll be able to get some more points on the board. But I'm quite happy with that stuff. I'm normally useless, George, at these, but there you go. We'll look forward to getting your team in. Let's just have a look at a couple of comments. Is the fantasy on the Yahoo Sports app? No, it's on the Premier League one, Michael. If you want to get involved, you can. Michael says, do we change the team for Arsenal, keep the same winning team? Bjorn for Strauch on Etcher starting for Pirot. George, what would you do with that?
Well, this is interesting because obviously Biol was suspended, but I don't think it would be fair to say, hey, we just won a game. You got a clean sheet. We're part of defence. I got a clean sheet. We're now going to put Yacobiol in because of the sake of it to give him his debut. I think he will have to wait until probably Stroud, because let's be honest, I don't think Rodon will be dislodged from the team. I think it'll be his to lose. I think it'll be Stroud that eventually makes way for Bijol, and I don't think it'll be that long before we see him. I would say start with Stroud still at the Emirates, just because we won the last game, and I think he deserves that at least. Let's be honest, realistically, we're probably potentially going to see defeat at the Emirates on Saturday. I think after that, then I think Biol will probably have his debut against Newcastle, and then
I think he gets shot against Wednesday in the cup.
Yeah, that's a week on Wednesday, a week on Tuesday, is it? A week today, is it? Yeah. So possibly. I think we'll see a much changed side for that, won't we? But it'll be interesting to see. You might have your likes of Seb Barnau, getting a debut and all this kind of thing. So let's wait. No.
I
don't think Bamford has a squad number, mate, anymore.
Brutal.
I don't think he does.
No, you're right. I don't think he does.
Calvert-Lewin's taking the 9 shirt, and he doesn't have one. So he was nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen at all in terms of the the squad. He's nowhere. So he won't be given a go. It might be the likes of, I don't know, Okafor maybe, or whoever else comes in before then, or Joseph's gone out alone, hasn't he?
Yes. Let's do this thing, George. Let's have a bit of this. Here's Tanaka Time, where we discuss all things which have caught our eye this week in the world of sports or news or whatever we really want to talk about for 5 minutes. George, what's your Tanaka Time this week?
Well, of course, you naturally you might go to look at the game. The football's back, the Premier League started again. But what I want to look at today, obviously, great result. We can say it till our faces are blue. Ironically, what a great win it was. But I'm talking about the transfer window, and we're talking about the man I know. I did mention just a minute ago because he is coming in to Leeds. It was confirmed just today that Mr. Noah Okafor is to come in, whether he be a left wing or a striker or wherever he's going to be used by Mr. Daniel Farke. He's going to bolster the wing options. And what I wanted to really focus on, of course, is he has also been available and for RB Salzburg, and also played with some of our former players. Now, will he have spoken to these lads? I do not know.
Now, yeah, I think you're referring to the picture which we've been sent today. I can't put it up. I've got the picture in front of me. Warber, Christensen, Aronson, referring to that, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much half the squad he's played with already. Even though 2 have left.
Yeah, in that photo, there's Max Wober, Rasmus Christensen, and Aronson with Noah Okafor. And will he have? It's interesting the dynamics. Will he have spoken to these lads about Leeds?
I think naturally players do speak to former players and current players. I know that Perry spoke, spoke to a lot about Farke in particular. Obviously, the manager's got a big input into it, but he spoke to Rafinha at length, didn't he? I think Rafinha was trying to get Pashao over the line as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think they do, naturally. It's with any job, if you go for another job, somebody there, you naturally say, what's it like there? What's it, any career, any job, you'd naturally go and do the same thing, wouldn't you? You'd
of course you would. I think it's good though. Obviously they've probably got good things to say. Obviously, Aronson is still there.
Would you say Wobb's got good things to say about Leeds United?
Well, I don't.
Would you say Christensen's got nice things to say about Leeds United? Probably not.
Probably not. But there you go. So unless he just bypassed those boys, I think. Look, Noah Okafor, he wants the Premier League apparently, doesn't he? So this is why he's joining really. And I do think that that Muniz, I saw Mark. Hello to Mark.
Yeah, it's interesting.
He's saying that obviously they're going for another man that we've been linked with pretty much all window, which is I think
Ryan Kent.
No, not thankfully not. I think it's the Montenegrin lad.
Right.
I can't remember his name, but he's going to Atlanta instead of Muniz. So a lot of people tonight, and when it broke out, was like, Leeds,
Yeah,
are we still there for Muniz? And I believe that Leeds probably are, from what I know.
I think with this one, obviously he scored at the weekend, didn't he, for Fulham?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I think it's really difficult. For Fulham to sell him to Leeds, it has to be a really, really big amount of money, which you can't get offered elsewhere.
Well, see, they're going for Kevin,
Is it-
aren't they? They're wanting
Yeah.
Kevin from Shakhtar Donetsk. I think if they get him, then Muniz probably can move on as well. They're wanting 40 mil for him. I think in the end, Aaron, I think we're going to end up with him.
Do you? That's a
Yeah.
big call, that. I don't think he'll come, if I'm being honest,
I
George.
think it'll go. No, I think he will. And I think it'll go down to maybe the last days, the last hours of the window. But I do think that Leeds, the business obviously is nearly done, isn't it, mate? I think we've got Okafor to come in the next day or two.
Yeah.
And then we've got probably Justin got injured at the weekend, didn't he? For Leicester. So Leeds are waiting on whether or not to go for him, how bad the injury is. And in the event that we do get him or somebody else, obviously we know Schmidt has basically already agreed to join Werder Bremen on loan. So they're just waiting to get somebody in.
They're waiting for things to sit in place, aren't they? Because it is that domino effect, isn't it? It all, affects. And I think Paraga, I heard the interview which he did with Sky yesterday. He said there is business still to do,
exactly.
and that's fine. We can wait. Because you never get, do you, George? You never get all your business done without a few things later on. So transfer wise, Okafor is due in. He'll be in for a medical tomorrow. That's booked in, and he'll probably be announced in 48 hours or so. Any other transfers, George, that we know
really, Aaron. Like I said, I think Muniz is the one that Leeds really want from a long time, and I think they will, until it's a complete no. Like, I think they will still keep going. And there are, notes and things in the background where Leeds are saying yes.
And outgoings as well, George, with this, because there's a whole bunch of players. Bamford won, Greenwood. Joseph's obviously gone out on loan.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of players which need to be moved on as well, isn't there?
There is. I mean, there absolutely is, Harry. I mean,
but they're not moving.
No, it is interesting to say what there's. I don't know how long there is left of the window now. There can't be more than just over 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
and
just 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they're not moving. Yeah, I think it finishes. Does it a week on Monday, perhaps? So they're not. So yeah, just under 2 weeks. They're not moving. I mean, like Sir Bamford and all that. Where do they sit if they don't go? You know what I mean? So
well, they'll get a nice payout. They'll be getting their weekly wage. It's what they've signed. Leeds will have to honour that, and the player wills, etc. But I can't see him. I can't see Bamford moving, because who wants to take him?
I think Bamford.
That's the issue.
Yeah, I think Bamford. To be honest, and we spoke about it ages ago on here. I think he'll end up somewhere like Wrexham or something. To be honest,
I think the best place for him, George, would be the MLS. I really do.
Yeah, maybe
over there.
Yeah, maybe. He's still obviously got something to offer somebody. He'll be 32 soon, I think. So he's still got a few years left in him, but obviously he's very much frozen out now. I mean, and thank goodness, to be fair, because as much as Bamford done a lot for the club in the past, he also did a lot of. He had a little bit of a contentious relationship for a time with the fans, and he is absolutely going to drop a real bad miss at some point, where some people are going to get on his back. And is it really worth all of that for him in his 30s now? He's
Yeah,
got a family and whatnot.
it's a tough one. Can I quickly give you my Tanaka time? I've gone off peak again. It's Sheffield Wednesday. Leeds obviously play them in a few weeks in the cup. The Sheffield Wednesday fans, George, are boycotting this game, and it's going to be really, really strange for the thousands of Leeds fans who will get down there. But one thing I do want to say is we've got to support Sheffield Wednesday here because their owners, Chansiri, is an absolute dick. He's completely screwing that club over. Even Sheffield Wednesday fans I've read online are not even buying a pint in the ground. They're not buying any food there. They're not doing anything. And I do think Leeds United fans, if you are going to Hillsborough to watch that game, don't just support Sheffield Wednesday here. Don't buy anything from the kiosks. Just buy your ticket. Go and support the lads. Get us through to the next round, but don't buy pints. Don't buy pies. Don't buy sweets. Don't buy crisps. Don't buy anything from there. Just buy it outside the ground. Support them little burger vans and things. Support them rather than Chelsea.
I mean, you'd have to agree, Aaron. I mean, they're in a real mess.
Wednesday, they're a big club, massive club, and it's a shame that you get these shit owners who absolutely drain the soul of the club out, and they need to be out of football. They've got no place in football. They really haven't. And I hope they don't go under. I hope Chansiri gets out, and I hope that Wednesday can celebrate because they're going to really struggle this year in the league as well. Let's be honest.
They will. I think they'll end up going down, Aaron. But
yeah, I think that as well.
But that's just the way that turmoil works, doesn't it? It's not good, and they've been able to piece together a squad, obviously, and they have been paid, haven't they? But I think Wednesday really, it's not a good situation. Look, we've been there with the poor ownership and
we have, and it's supposed to be fixed. This, the new football governance, but all that sort of stuff in Parliament, it should have been sorted out, but it hasn't. And I just really hope that, and I just think that Leeds United fans need to be a bit of solidarity with Sheffield Wednesday fans here. I know you'd say they're a big rival, but don't buy anything from their ground. Just buy a ticket, and Leeds will get half of that anyway in terms of the sales.
Well, if they're boycotting it, is nobody turning up then for that game?
They've only opened up the North Stand, which is falling apart apparently, but none of them are going for it. Apparently, the Sheffield Wednesday Supporters Trust have said boycott this game at all matters, and it will be very strange to watch it on TV because it's been selected for Sky. It'd be very, very strange to watch it on TV, but I think Leeds fans can do a little bit here and support the Sheffield Wednesday fans here and say, look, we won't buy anything from this ground, and we'll just support little boozers and the burger vans and the restaurants and all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah, the ground is falling apart, and there is a health and safety issue there, says Mark. You're right. They've just got it done. I saw a picture online of the little what are they called now, them zipper tape things, whatever they're called. The zipper tag things, what they're called. What they're called. Anyway, one of them holding up the speaker. Yeah, thank God, it's crazy. But yeah, anyway, long story short, we won't support them by buying that. Anyway, that's Tanaka time for this. All right, George. Transfers. We've talked about the games. Do you want to do a quiz?
Yes, why not?
Why not? Ready then, quiz time for you, George. Do you want to cover up your comments?
Absolutely.
Cover up your comments. Have you done it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, because Leeds' game last night was against Everton, the first one of the new season. I've got, George, for you, when I find it, here it is. I've got Leeds United Premier League opening day quiz for you.
Fair enough. I thought you might do.
No multiple answers for this one. I've got 5 questions for you, George, of Leeds' opening days in the Premier League. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to start with this one. Okay. Who were Leeds United's opponents in the opening day of the very first Premier League season in 92-93?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yes. It's going to be tough one. Get involved in the comments if you want on the quiz as well. Who were the first opponents of the first ever Premier League season?
I don't know. Fucking Newcastle.
No, you got Newcastle.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Uh-huh.
No. Wimbledon. It's the first one.
I was going to say that as well.
Well, there you go. Right. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. On the opening day of the 96-97 Premier League season, Leeds beat Derby County 3-0 at Ellen Road. Who scored twice? It's tricky, this one.
I don't know, mate.
Think about this. 1996, 1997. Who was the main man?
Was it? I don't know. Was it Kewell?
Harry Kewell, 1996.
Then we can't have played too much later than that, was it?
He's around 1990. Harry Kewell. Is that what you're going for, Harry Kewell?
No.
I'll give you a clue. He's played for us twice.
Dean, was it? Brian
Yeah, Brian Dean. Yeah, Brian Dean.
There you go.
There you go. You got one. You got that. Right. Leeds began the 2002-2003 Premier League season against Manchester City at Ellen Road. What was the score?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know. 2-0 Leeds because City
you were one out. It's 3-0. Alan Smith scored twice. Lee Boy, you got the other. Right, I'm going to go a bit closer now. Question 4. Leeds returned to the Premier League in 2020. Who did they face and what was the score?
Liverpool, it was 4-3.
Yes, it was. Well done. And I'm going to give you an even easier one, George. Who scored the winning penalty for Leeds during the 25-26 opening day win?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I can't remember. It was Nemecho, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nemecho. Well done. 84 minutes after Tarkowski's handball. Not bad there, George. 3 out of 5, I think you got there. So well done. Let us know how you got involved in the comments below. There you go. That's your quiz for this week, George. On to Arsenal then, George. Arsenal at the weekend. It doesn't get any easier than Everton at home, does it? Arsenal away at the Emirates, their first game at home, as you said. We've got a little bit of history with Arsenal at Leeds. It's going to be a tough one.
Yes. I mean, it's going to be a real tough game. Is Arsenal... Arron, I don't know, mate. I think it's going to be... They're going to be up for it. It's the first home game of the season. Arteta will have them going well, and they beat Man United away from home first game. They'll be bang up for it. They've got some good players. They've really kicked on. Obviously, they've got what's his name, Goykeres, who everybody's waiting.
I'm sure Leeds were linked with him.
Yeah, we were
years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. I mean, everybody's waiting for his first goal, and you can understand he's going to get one on Saturday. You know what I mean? It's one of them. That's a big marquee signing. Hopefully by then,
paid a lot of money for him as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And hopefully by then they'll have, we'll have Okafor and we'll have maybe another one, but another one might be optimistic before the weekend potentially. In terms of attacking options, maybe, but I think they'll definitely have Okafor done. Whether he'll start, we might see DCL in at some point in
really
in the squad.
When do you think we'll see him? I think we should have a bit of a game here. As when we'll see Dominic Calvert-Lewin in a Leeds shirt.
I think we'll see. I think it'll be the back end of September, maybe after the international break. Yeah, properly.
Yeah. Shall I tell you what I think? Here's my prediction. I don't think we'll see him until at least October.
Really? Maybe. I mean, maybe that's why
he's only traded once, and I don't think throw him in there. He's got a. The problem with Dominic Calvert-Lewin is because he's so injury prone. We've got to manage that more than anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even risk I wouldn't even risk him with any cup games. I wouldn't risk him at all
Well,
until
that's
this guy's fine.
I think maybe but then he's a professional athlete. He's played in the Premier League for years. He knows the score surely in some minutes, or maybe he can play the cup game at Wednesday, next week. But I don't know. But that's why it's imperative that we get another, strikers. Calvert-Lewin for me, Aaron, he's not the main man.
No.
He's not the main striker. I don't think he can be. I think there's got to have somebody there. And then you're packing it with, you've got not really then because you've got Okafor who can play there. You've got, you've got DCL. You've got Nemesha. You've got Perot, and then you've got somebody else.
You need 4, realistically.
Yeah. And Okafor, I think Okafor will be played on the wing. So I think we'll have Nemesha, we'll have Perot, we'll have DCL, and we'll have somebody else who I think will be the flagship, number 9, if you like.
Yeah.
Even though they don't wear it on the back of his shirt.
I think with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, from set pieces as well. We'll talk about set pieces in a few weeks once the season's got into the swing of it. But set pieces are going to be so key this season for Leeds. We've got to get that right, and I think Calvert-Lewin, he's got a lot of goals with his head. You would think that we can surely. How many goals do you think he can return for us this season, George?
Well, look,
what's a good number? Because
into double figures, I reckon is 10.
Double figures, 10.
Yeah,
10 goals for Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I think that's. I think that would be that's great because he's a free transfer, mate, and we've got the money back on his on his wages. But I think, I reckon 7 to 10 goals would be a good return. But you need all of them 4/5 players to knock in with. And knock in with about 3 or 4, 5, 6 each.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's the service is important, but you look at Nonto, you're expecting at least 5 or 6 goals from him this season.
Yeah,
Dan James, we'll be looking for 5 or 6. Pirot, 5 or 6. Tanaka can chip in a couple from set pieces, so you'd be looking from Bijol or Rodon. We're expecting Stack as well. I think if we can get, I'm going to agree with you again. 7 goals from Calvert-Lewin this season, I think would be a good return on his investment.
Well, look, if he can get 7 to 10, the other lads chip in with like 4, 5, 6, 7. Munez, if we end up with him, maybe he's on a hot run of form and he gets more. He's already got 1 for Fulham, like you said. So maybe he's got. Maybe he can get double figures as well, and then then we're cooking, aren't we? Really, we're doing all right. But I do think we will end up with Rodrigo Munez,
Mark says he says he thinks that we'll end up with Muniz as well. So I hope we do, because I think he could be a good signing for Leeds. Just and get it done.
Yeah, just do it. We've been waiting for a number now, and I know Calvert-Lewin, they made a big deal about it, didn't they? Because he's in England internationally, he hasn't retired yet from obviously he's only 28 from England duties. So, I saw him on a podcast recently before he signed for Leeds, saying that, he wanted to get back into Tuchel's plans, and I'm thinking, you're way off it, mate, bloody hell. But
not in a World Cup, Grealish has gone to Everton to try and get into the England squad. You think
I mean, even players like him. I mean, in flashes yesterday on the time he was on, he didn't look too bad, but he looked a little bit quick. But he wasn't really doing much with the ball. So I don't think he's going to get anywhere near it. Back into the England team, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is way off it. Even if he was to score double figures, I don't
10
think
plus.
he would get anywhere near it still.
No, I agree. So, Colin, George gives a prediction then for the weekend. Arsenal against Leeds United at the Emirates.
I mean, I don't like to see, to predict Leeds to lose. So I'm going to predict we get a draw out of this game.
Okay.
And I'm going to go one apiece. But
Hmm.
I think in my heart of hearts, I know it's going to be a difficult ask that. But yeah, I'll go with a draw just because I don't like.
It's a tough one. Yeah, draw. I'd take a draw any day, all day long, George. But I think for me, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. I think it's damage limitations for Leeds United against Arsenal. Arsenal are going to be challenging for the title this year. I think they've finished second forever. They
seem to know.
And I don't think they'll win it. Again, they're going to be knocking. No. They're going to make Liverpool work hard for it, and I just think it's going to be a little bit too much for us. But I am glad that we're getting this one out of the way, because when we normally play Arsenal at Highbury or at the Emirates, we're always at the back end of the season, and I'm glad that we're getting this one out of the way. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 Arsenal win. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's realistic, isn't it? Yeah, it's realistic, isn't it? And I know what you're thinking. Get the harder ones out of the way early, because at the back end of the season, we might be scrapping for points and needing kind of looking fixtures. So yeah, fair enough. I mean, same with the Newcastle game a week on Saturday.
That's going to be a tough one as well. And I think the last time Newcastle came to them, I think they drew. I think it was Big Sam's. Was it Big Sam's first game in charge?
Yeah, that's right. I think it was Bamford missed that penalty, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's nowhere near this time. But yeah, I think the Newcastle game was quite interesting because obviously Isak's causing issues there.
Yeah.
There's big pressures with them, with the Saudis. Yeah. It'll be a game to save you, that one. It will be Newcastle at home, and I would have more hopeful that if we do get spanked at the weekend, that we'll be able to respond against Newcastle. I really do.
I think we will be able to more, have a bit more go at Newcastle than we can Arsenal, and I think if we get a point, Arron, from any of the next two, it's all right, because we won yet last night.
Absolutely, and it'd be completely different if we've just got 1 point on the board. If we get 4 points from these opening 3 fixtures, I think there's not a Leeds United fan, realistically, who would have absolutely snapped your hand off at that before the next international break. And I think 4 points would be a good return from that. And of course, we've got the Sheffield Wednesday game as well. I want to get through that.
Exactly. So you want to get into the next round. You want to give fringe players minutes, and it's interesting to look at that game and think, who could play here? Because no doubt he will rotate it, obviously. So it'd be interesting to see who plays.
Yeah. Mark says 3-0 Arsenal. George, ask Arron and bring a sub in and sack Arron. Says Mark. Well, Mark, you might be glad to know this. I'm going to be taking some time away from Talking Leeds, and I'm handing the reins over and passing the baton on to George and Alfie for the next couple of weeks. Something like that. I know we should go with them. Of course, I want Leeds to win. But Mark, I'm passing about. I'm having a baby. Well, I'm not having a baby. The missus is on Thursday, so I'm going to have to take a little bit of paternity leave, Mark. So I'm going to be taking some time away, sorting out the little one and things like that. So a little girl coming for me on Thursday.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations, mate. Yes, absolutely. It'll be a busy time.
Passing over the baton to George and Alfie, so they're going to be in control. God knows what's going to happen by the time I get back. George and Alfie are in charge. Yes, this is my second one, Mark, as well. That's the first, yeah. So yes, Alfie is going to be in and around doing some match reactions with George and Jerry, and George is going to chip in and sort it all out, aren't you, George?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we got it all sorted, mate. You go in there, do what you need to do, and it'll be here for when you return.
Yeah, I can't wait. But I'm looking forward to, and I will be on the other side of this, and I'll be.
Oh, so you'll be watching, will you?
I might watch.
I'm surprised you'd have time. Yeah. Get little one to fall asleep to buy stuff.
Yeah. Just put Talking Leeds on and the bearded peacock, and she'll fall asleep. But yes. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. And I will be back. But I just got to take time. Listen, got to take a little bit of time. But who knows? I might be back when this baby's here. Who knows? But I think just for the next couple of weeks, I just need to take a bit of time away. Otherwise, I'll be in the doghouse. I think that's it for this week, George. The baton is firmly passed over to you. And Alfie, enjoy it and don't ruin it.
No, absolutely not. We're in good hands, I think.
I trust you and that beard and Alfie, and no doubt about it, there'll be Russell, Jimbo, there'll be a whole host of people on this. Who knows?
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen.
I don't want to know.
It's a suck it and see situation. Just see what happens.
Yeah. I love that bombshell. You might as well give us a like and a subscribe. I'll just to Talking Leeds, and don't forget, if you want to listen to all that stuff, you can do on your podcast providers. And if you want to listen to some match reaction from me and Jerry, it's all available there. George, what have you got on your channel? Do you want to give it a quick plug?
Yeah, absolutely. My Bearded Peacock channel. I might do a match reaction maybe tomorrow. Just keep it going on. Give my thoughts on it. I've got a little bit of a issue with my phone at the moment, so I can't really post regularly. But I'm trying to keep up to date on my computer with regular posts still. But you might not see me so much active on likes of Instagram and things, just because I can't post. My phone is going silly. It's playing silly buggers. So so that's what's happened. But I am still here. I am still posting. I am still giving my thoughts on Leeds United. Also, we will be back with talking Brazil ball, me and my brother James, tomorrow. The Brazilian teams keep going on and on. This season keeps going, so we keep reacting and keep giving our thoughts on that as well. Funnily enough, Mr. Luis Sinisterra looks like he's going to end up playing in Brazil in the most recently playing.
What about? I forgot about him.
Yeah,
is he still useless?
He is, yes. So he's rocking up at Cruzeiro, apparently. So a nice little move for him. I know the Nokia market's doing me dirty, really. I need to get upgrade on that one.
Well, there you go. I'm sure George Mark will keep you posted next week. Him and Alfie will be here with Talking Leeds, and George or Alfie, whoever, will be with Jerry for the match reactions. Right, George, thank you very much. I'll see you and everybody who's listening and watching in a few weeks' time. See you in a few weeks. Have a good one.
Yes, Godspeed. See you in a few weeks.
See you soon.